Alright, so Tower of God, a man that made quite the splash with his anime debut in 2020. Honestly, it was not on my radar at first, but after what felt like an eternity of scrolling through Crunchyroll and not being able to find anything that caught my eye, I finally decided to give it a shot. And let's be real, while it did not top my list that season, I still thoroughly enjoyed it, and the announcement of a season 2 had me hyped. But after watching the first 4 episodes of season 2, I was surprised. I felt kind of underwhelmed. I noticed that season 2 was drastically different, and I couldn't help but compare it to season 1. So that's what I did. Alright, so first I want you to imagine watching an anime episode that leaves you on the edge of your seat hungry for more. You got it? That was season 1 of Tower of God for me. Now picture another where you're checking the clock wondering when things will pick up. Unfortunately, that's how I feel when I watch season 2. You see, the pacing of an anime is like the rhythm of a song. When it's done right, it can make the story soar. When off, it can turn even the most exciting plot into a drag. You see, season 1 of Tower of God had a rhythm that resonated with me, while season 2 felt like it hit a few too many of the wrong notes. I remember binge watching season 1 in one weekend, mostly because I had nothing else to do, but still, each episode felt like a mini cliffhanger, compelling me to click next episode despite the late hour. In contrast, season 2's pacing feels inconsistent. Some arcs drag on while others rush through critical plot points. It's like the creators couldn't decide whether to slow down and explore the characters or speed up to get to the next big moment. Season 1 introduces us to the enigmatic world of the Tower and its equally mysterious protagonist Bam. The episodes are tightly woven, each one building on the last, creating a seamless narrative flow. If you remember the Crown game, the stakes were high, the action was intense, and the character dynamics were electric. Each episode left me eagerly anticipating the next, wondering how Bam and his friends would overcome the challenges. However, season 2 just doesn't do that. The pacing of pivotal parts of the story with significant character development and thrilling battles tend to stumble, with some episodes feeling padded with unnecessary filler and others crammed with too much information. It left me confused as to what is happening in the story. Watching season 2 felt like a roller coaster with too many ups and downs. Some episodes had me on the edge of my seat, and then there were episodes where I found myself checking my phone waiting for something exciting to happen. The uneven pacing made it hard to stay as engaged as I was during season 1. I even remember watching season 1 and it felt like I was discovering a whole new world. But that feeling of originality just didn't carry over to season 2. The concept of a mysterious tower that grants wishes to those who reach the top was so intriguing. But in season 2, the freshness of exploring the tower and its mysteries begins to wane as the story dives into more traditional shonen elements like prolonged battles and multiple subplots. Season 1 reminded me of my childhood, when every book and game felt like an adventure waiting to happen. I was hooked instantly. I mean, from the very beginning, Bam isn't the overpowered protagonist. He has to struggle, learn, and grow. But as I progressed into season 2, I found myself missing the sheer wonder I felt during season 1. While the new characters and arcs were interesting, they sometimes feel like they were treading on well-worn paths rather than blazing new trails. The characters in season 1 are a colorful mix, each with their own backstory and motivations. I remember how I felt meeting Bam, Kun, Rock, and Rachel for the first time. Their journeys were so compelling that I couldn't stop watching. But season 2's characters like Jubilee Grace and Ja just don't give me the same feelings. I remember watching season 1 and thinking Kun was just another sly anime character until that episode when he sacrificed his own progress for Bam's sake. Rock's transformation from a comedic brute to a loyal protector reminded me of my college roommate. And watching Bam in the first season reminded me of my own journey through my first job. Like Bam, I started off unsure and inexperienced, but as I faced challenges, I grew more confident and capable. And because of this, Bam's development felt personal and relatable. And let's not forget Rachel's betrayal. It was unexpected and left a lasting impact, making Rachel one of the most memorable characters in the series. What I'm trying to say is season 1's characters were more diverse, relatable, believable and had better character development than season 2. I mean, while Juviole Grace, her Bomb's alter ego, returns with a darker, more powerful persona, his character development feels rushed even though it's an intriguing return. And Jaw's ambition and determination to climb the tower are clear, but his character lacks the nuanced development of season 1's cast. His motivations are more straightforward, making him less engaging. Aquaraptor, with his tragic backstory and fatherly nature, has the potential for deep character development. However, the series doesn't spend enough time fleshing out his arc, leaving him somewhat one-dimensional. Horiang's mysterious background and silent strength make him an interesting character. However, like Aquaraptor, his development is overshadowed by the crowded cast and fragmented storyline. You see, season 1 captivates us with its deep, well-rounded character development, making us invest emotionally in Bam, Kun, Rock, and Rachel. While introducing intriguing new characters, season 2 struggles to maintain the same level of depth and engagement. I remember the first time I saw the breathtaking visuals of Tower of God season 1. I was expecting the same from season 2, but it just didn't live up to my expectations. I remember the episodes from season 1 where the animation was so vivid and dynamic that I had to rewind and watch it again. It felt like witnessing an explosion of fireworks on New Year's Eve, leaving me in awe of the animator skills. The crisp, clean lines and vibrant colors bring the tower and its inhabitants to life in a way that's mesmerizing. The fluidity of the characters' movements, especially during action scenes, kept me on the edge of my seat. But season 2's animation, while it is still good, it just doesn't quite match the quality of season 1. There are moments where the lines aren't as crisp and the colors don't pop as much. It feels like the animation lost some of its initial magic. I remember watching the first episode of season 2 and feeling a bit let down. The animation quality was good, but it didn't have the same wow factor as season 1. It was like going from a high definition display to a standard one. Not bad, but not as impressive. Even the art style changed. In season 1, it was unique and it complemented the story beautifully. The slightly abstract and sketchy style fits the mysterious and fantastical nature of the tower. It creates an atmosphere that's both dreamlike and intense, perfectly matching the tone of the series. I mean, watching season 1 was like flipping through a beautifully illustrated graphic novel. Each frame was a piece of art. I even paused during some scenes just to admire the artwork, something I rarely do with other anime. However, the art style in season 2 felt more conventional compared to the unique style of season 1. While still visually appealing, it doesn't capture the same otherworldly vibe that made the first season so special. Season 2's art style reminded me of other typical shonen anime. While that's not necessarily a bad thing, it lacked the unique flair that made season 1 stand out. It felt more like just another anime rather than a continuation of the visual masterpiece that was season 1. Also, season 1 is packed with standout visual moments. The use of Shinsu, the varied environments of each floor, and the unique character designs all contribute to a visually stunning experience. It felt like watching an animated painting come to life. Now, while season 2 does have its moments, they are fewer and less impactful compared to season 1. The standout visual moments aren't as frequent or memorable, making the overall visual experience less engaging. While season 2 has a few cool visual effects, they didn't leave a lasting impression like the visuals in season 1. It was a bit like having a few good scenes in an otherwise average movie. The music in season 1 is nothing short of spectacular. The opening theme sets the perfect tone with its intense and energizing beat. The ending theme beautifully captures the emotional undertones of the series. The background score complements the story's highs and lows, enhancing every scene. I remember getting goosebumps every time the opening theme played. It was like a signal that something epic was about to happen. I even added it to my workout playlist for that extra motivation. The ending theme, on the other hand, was my go-to for winding down after a long day. However, season 2's music, while it is still good, doesn't quite match the intensity and memorability of season 1. The opening and ending themes are decent, but they lack the punch that made season 1's theme so iconic. The background score, although fitting, doesn't elevate the scenes as effectively. I found myself skipping the opening theme of season 2 more often than not, which is something I never really did with season 1. The music just didn't have the same emotional pull. It was like expecting fireworks and getting sparklers instead. Listening to Bomb's voice as he expressed his determination and vulnerability reminded me of my own struggles and triumphs. It felt so genuine that I couldn't help but root for him. Khun's voice was exactly how I imagined him while reading the webtoon. The voice actors really nailed their roles in season 1. Now, don't get me wrong, while the voice acting in season 2 is still commendable, the introduction of many new characters means less focus on the main cast. Some of the new voices just don't resonate as strongly with me, and the chemistry that made season 1 so special felt diluted. Also, the sound effects in season 1 are incredibly effective. From the whoosh of the Shinsu attacks to the clashing of weapons, every sound is meticulously crafted to enhance the viewing experience. The ambient sounds of the tower, like the eerie echoes in the background, add an extra layer of immersion. I'll never forget the sound of the Shinshu explosions. It was so powerful that I felt the impact through my headphones. There were moments wherein I'd pause the episode just to appreciate the sound design. It's those little details that made season 1 an auditory masterpiece. However, season 2 sound effects lack the precision and impact of season 1. Some action scenes felt less immersive due to the less impactful sound design. The ambient sounds weren't as pronounced, which slightly reduced the overall atmosphere. There were moments in season 2 where I felt the sound effects didn't quite hit the mark. It was like watching a movie with the volume turned down. The Shinsu attacks and battle scenes just didn't have the same auditory thrill as season 1. Season 1 is rich with themes that are universally relatable. The main themes include friendship, betrayal, and the quest for self-discovery. Bam's journey is driven by his desire to reunite with Rachel, but along the way, he forms bonds with other characters, showcasing the power and complexity of friendships. Watching Bam's unwavering dedication to Rachel reminded me of my own experiences with friendship and loyalty. There was a time in high school when I stood by a friend through thick and thin, much like Bam did. It was a powerful reminder of the lengths we go to for those we care about. While season 2 continues with some of the original themes, it introduces new ones such as revenge and redemption. However, these themes feel less impactful due to the fragmented storyline and numerous subplots. The focus on revenge, particularly with Juviole Grace, doesn't resonate as deeply as Bam's quest for self-discovery. The execution felt lacking compared to the emotional depth of season 1. And season 1 conveys several important messages, such as the importance of perseverance and the harsh reality of betrayal. Bam's perseverance in climbing the tower despite the numerous challenges and betrayals he faces teaches viewers the value of determination and resilience. Bam's perseverance reminded me of my own struggles in college. There are times when the workload feels overwhelming, but I keep pushing through, much like Bam did. Now, season 2 attempts to convey messages about the consequences of revenge and the possibility of redemption. However, these messages are sometimes muddled by the introduction of many new characters and plot lines, making it harder to connect with the overarching lessons. While the message of redemption in season 2 is intriguing, it didn't have the same emotional impact. It felt like reading a motivational quote that didn't quite resonate because it lacked the context and depth of a personal story. Season 1 also provided social commentary on the nature of power and ambition. The tower itself is a metaphor for societal hierarchies and the lengths individuals will go to achieve their goals. The characters' various backgrounds and motivations reflect the diverse ways people navigate power structures. The social commentary on power and ambition hit home for me. When I was working in a highly competitive job, seeing how different characters strategize and vied for power in the tower felt very much like the corporate world. It was a fascinating parallel that added depth to the viewing experience. Now, while season 2 continues to explore themes of power and ambition, it does it in a less cohesive manner. The introduction of multiple factions and characters dilutes the social commentary, making it less focused and impactful. The scattered social commentary in season 2 reminded me of a poorly organized debate where everyone talks over each other. Now, while there were interesting points, they were hard to follow and didn't leave a lasting impression. Season 1 of Tower of God was a roller coaster of emotions for me. Each episode left me wanting more thanks to engaging plot and dynamic characters. The constant twists and turns kept me on my toes, making it a binge-worthy series in my opinion. However, season 2, while it is still enjoyable, hasn't quite captured that same level of excitement. The fragmented storyline and numerous subplots make it hard to stay fully engaged. The pacing felt off at times, with some episodes dragging on and others rushing through important plot points. Also, season 1 packed a punch when it came to emotional moments. From Bam's unwavering dedication to Rachel to the shocking betrayals and heartwarming friendships, the series tugged at my heartstrings. I mean, the moment Rachel betrayed Bam hit me like a ton of bricks. I was sitting there stunned, replaying the scene in my mind. It was such a powerful moment that I had to take a break and process what happened. The emotional depth of season 1 made it an unforgettable experience. Now, while season 2 has had its share of emotional moments, they don't resonate as deeply. The focus on revenge and power struggles make it hard to connect with the characters on an emotional level. The fragmented storyline also diluted the impact of key moments, making them less memorable. There was a scene in season 2 that was supposed to be a big emotional scene, but it fell flat for me. I found myself longing for the intense emotions of season 1, where every twist and turn felt personal and significant. But take everything I said with a grain of salt, because at the end of the day, only you can know what's a good watch for you. I hope you enjoyed this video, and peace.